Welcome in everybody to my channel. Today's reading is going to be a pick a card on how can you enter beast mode. So this is the first time in a while that I have been able to actually choose a topic myself, and it's not just like a channel topic or theme of the reading, which is fantastic. And after like a lot of the stuff that we had, I thought it would be like nice for a bit of a change, a bit of a mix up. Anyway, we have group 1 with the Smokey Quartz. Some like nice refractions. We have group 2 with the Hematite. We have group 3 with the Labradorite. So you can take a moment to choose whichever group you feel the most drawn to. Pause the video if you need to, if you would like to take some time doing that. Timestamps are in the description. We will get started with group 1. See you there. Okay, welcome in group 1. If you chose the Smoky Quartz, then this will be your group reading for today on how can you enter beast mode. So I just want to quickly go through some of the channel messages that I got before we get started with the cards that we have laid out here. And so the first message that I had, normally when I have channel messages come through to work with crystals, it's more of like a lot of the times it's like a what would be good for you, or if you wanted a way to kind of optimize whatever the situation is. And I very much am like, well, you're going to do what you want anyway. And it's really just one of those things that it's like, you know, do what works for you, always make it easier or more achievable for yourself. This time it was like specifically like you need to work with Smoky Quartz, and if you don't have it, if you have a friend that has some that you could like borrow for a little bit, that would be great. And if that's not the case, like go out and buy some. You don't have to have a big piece, buy the smallest piece that you can, and literally sit with it in your hands and just let it do its thing however long you feel is good for you. I think anywhere between like 20 and 40 minutes would be great. So I would choose a time where you're already going to be sitting down. If you're an avid meditator, then obviously do your own thing. You know probably what you already would do and how you would do it. There's no real wrong or right way of how to do it, but rather it's just better that you do get to, okay? And so there was definitely a massive focus on an energy cleanse. They didn't really want to go into like what it was about or anything, so maybe that will come out in the cards as we go. But I did get messages around clean eating, vitamins, following up on healthcare that you know you need to if there's something already there. Going back to basics and opting for staples. So that was in regards to diet. And same sort of thing, right? Like, you know best what your body agrees with and what it doesn't. But if it's like choosing pizza over like vegetables and like whatever that might look like, you know, those like healthier whole foods, like a balanced diet option, clean eating for the reference that we used, definitely like the direction that they want to point you in, right? So it's simple things like if you're, you know, sitting down and having a piece of cake every afternoon, then that's probably something that they are just highlighting for you, okay? Anyway, But also, I mean, like, we're at a, like, how can you go beast mode reading? So it's really up to you, okay? Like, do you want to be able to do that, or do you, yeah, your choice. Okay, anyway, so the next thing that I had was to stop worrying about the pursuit of romantic interest. And the song that we had come through was the Beyoncé Check Up On It song. And I literally, I wrote down the lyrics. So it was, you need to stop playing around with all the clowns and the wanksters. Good girls gotta get down with the gangsters. And I also had the She's So High song by Tal, I think it's Bachman. And it's like, yeah, she's so high above me, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, or Aphrodite. And so the message around that was, they know that you're good and you don't know you're good. And there's something here about, like, you need to take a chance on yourself, but also, like, back it up, like, follow through. So it might feel really ballsy or different to you to do that. Like, you might have a lot of, I don't know if it's necessarily self-doubt, but you may not be used to, like, putting yourself out there or something like that. And they're just saying, like, take ownership of that whole experience, because, like, there are obviously going to be times where it doesn't go the way that we want it to or something. But I think there's something here about you can afford to be a little bit more ballsy with it than what you have been. And you probably just haven't, like, tested that enough to kind of find out. So I'll leave that one with you, using our discernment, right? Okay, so that's everything that I had written down. And the other thing that I seen that, like, seemed to come through very clearly was definitely some sort of choice. It could be touching on different themes of, like, between the head and the heart, you know, different focuses. There could also be a difference between going around something versus being direct. Like, you know, like, are you going to foot around something or beat around the bush, or kind of like maybe suggest things or direct in a certain way, but not really actually, like, say the exact clear direct thing that you want to, if that makes sense. There's also something here potentially, like, about being hard-headed, but also maybe touching on themes of, like, I don't know which way I want to go with this. So we're just going to touch on all of them, and just don't take anything that doesn't resonate for you, because not every single piece here, exact detail is going to. But it's like, for some people, it's like emotional safety. But then for other people, it's really like, I don't know if you're, like, dragging yourself, like working yourself so hard so that you, like, don't have to feel things or something like that. There could be something here where you feel, if it's not that, you could be, like, feeling really chained down by something when you really just want to move forward. It's like you're like you're trying to move forward, but you're still stuck. Like, you're still tethered. There's still no real way out or around it. I'm getting that reference for that kids song. It's like, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you've got to go through it. Going on a bear hunt, yeah. Okay, so there's that. There could also be a challenge between, like, the North Node and the South Node. So, like, I guess, like, you could imagine or, like, literally in astrology, it depends whichever way you kind of interpret this. What you feel like your life purpose is, your dharma, your passion pursuits, the things that come naturally to things, I don't know, like, that mean a lot to you. And I don't know, this isn't necessarily an accurate description of, like, a North Node versus a South Node, but this is the things that are coming through specifically for this reading around this topic, okay? And then the flipping comparison of that could be, like, really stepping into your own individuality and, like, building a life for yourself, starting from the ground up, doing things the right way so that there's, like, structurally a solid foundation there. And then there also could be, like, touching on themes of, like, spirituality versus, like, real world. So, like, maybe not being very integrated with our spirituality. Like, maybe they're existing, but they're not very integrated. So, like, in one aspect of our life, we could allow ourselves to be really spiritual and embrace it or embody it there. But then in another aspect of our life, it's like we're turning the tap off and, you know, I don't know, I guess, like, living as if it's not. So just take what resonates there. But we also have photo proof and getting evidence. I actually think that this is a call for you to, like, update social media pictures, like, you know, display pictures or something if you have a social media profile. I guess most people do these days, right? And even if you don't want to like update your profile picture, maybe you should just like put a new picture up of yourself. And I feel cool to say it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just like an update. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have here? I think I'm just gonna like start pulling more cards. But where do we want to go? One or two? Okay. There could be something here too about like wanting to confirm a bias here. So whether this is you or somebody else that you're dealing with, like maybe we want to see, maybe we have a particular belief, and in that particular belief, it's like we're looking for confirmation of that everywhere that we go. So again, this could be you or someone that you're dealing with, but I feel like there could be something here where it is also to do with matters of the heart. Like it almost looks like two rings intertwined. We've got the people in the boat together, and almost like all these flowers in the grass kind of reminds me of like a field like you would see in the movies when like a couple would go like lay in the meadow or do have like a picnic or something. Actually like really romantic themes. Something, okay, so the numbers like 257 could have some type of meaning or significance here. What's that about? I think this is just like too much focus on the heart, but it's something like if you're like focusing on yourself and then you like do these basic things, then it's like maybe you'll be in a better position to kind of get what you want when you're not so focused on it. What else do we want? I feel kind of like lost at this point, so I don't know if that's like potentially like how you're feeling in the situation. Okay, I just picked up this deck and on the bottom of it we have growth with dying and evolving. I feel like you're being asked to let this, whatever this old thing was playing out, gone. I think for some of you it is that like paying attention to relationships potentially that has got you chained. It's like stopping your growth. It's like keeping you stuck. That's the Chariot. When there's also saying here too where you could be like wife material, and obviously like flip the gender here, like you could be like, I don't know, husband material, whatever, like, you know, whatever you resonate with there. It's like making me think of that corny joke about like, feel my shirt, like, oh, can you guess what my shirt's made out of? Like, can you feel it and tell me or something? Or do you know? And then they do. And then they're like, oh, it's boyfriend material. So I don't know. Is this a person that you already know? No. I wonder if it's also like a call for like a bit more expression. Like maybe like a flirtiness or something. This is weird because it's like, don't focus on this stuff so much. But then maybe what happens is like when you stop focusing on it so much, it'll like stop chaining you in the way that the way that you're navigating the situation. Maybe it's like you're not being, I don't know, it's like you're trying to move forward, but you're like keeping yourself stuck. But then it's like, you just need to take a couple of steps to get yourself in a position where you would be more open, where it would actually be better suited. But also when you're just not you're not giving it so much attention. Maybe just think about it a lot. What was it? Stop worrying about the pursuit of romantic interest. Maybe some of you feel like you're in a compromised position where you're like, I don't know, maybe you feel like you have a lot of baggage, or you feel like you have like a toxic history or past or addictive patterns of behavior or something like that. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, maybe you just feel like you've got like this, maybe you just have like a very negative inner critic, right? And it's like, or maybe it is negative lifestyle patterns as well, because, you know, there was a lot there about like, you know, taking better care of yourself and just going back to basics, doing the things that you know that are good for your body. Like, you know, everyone knows that it's good for you to drink water and like you know, eat vegetable salads and fruits and like, I don't know, like whatever the rest of that healthy diet is that you subscribe to. But like, you know, it's not eating cake and it's all that sort of stuff. I feel maybe, I don't know why, I feel like I need to tell someone, even if it's literally like one person, to like not eat so many burgers, which is like crazy. But also, I don't know, they're good. Like, I don't blame you, but like, what? I don't know, this is weird. But also, I'm almost getting like the taste of beer as well. So for people that could be like drinking, and it could be like a case of like, there is too much wheat. Maybe if you're going to drink, maybe you need to find like a different type of drink, or maybe you need to just not drink quite as much, because it really can talk about intoxication as well. And then I feel there's also like, you know, maybe when you like seek out those sorts of things, then you're in this like almost chaotic devil kind of temptress energy or something, and it makes you pursue things that you know are not good for you, or you make the allowance because you're in that like inebriated state to be open to it, but you know that it's like actually not good for you. So I think about like you being the ruler of your own life, you being the ruler of your own heart. There's, what's her name? Lauryn Hill. There's a song that she has. It's like ruler of my heart. I can't remember the name of the song, if it's like Zion or something else. But I feel like we're getting too many songs come out. I'm going to write it down, and I'm actually going to link them this time, because I feel like I've not been doing it because I haven't felt called to, but then sometimes it just gets too confusing if there's like too many kind of being shouted out. Lauryn Hill, whatever the ruler of my heart is. It might actually be the name of the song. My heart. Okay, cool. So I also like dropped a couple cards while I was talking. Fun fact. So we have attention with like resistant and surrendered. Do you not want it, or you do want it, or it's like for the wrong? Cultivation, neglected and nurtured. I just think maybe you haven't gotten enough attention for like the good things, or like the wholesome aspects of yourself, or things in life, or like the things that you actually like of not being nurtured. Part of it could also just be like you've not really nurtured yourself, because it's like you've been trying to get the attention or capture the attention of others, but it's like in trying to do that, we're like really just trying to not appease others. I don't think that's the right word for this, but it's like we're working for others, not for ourselves, if that makes sense. Even though you want the attention, so I can understand how we can kind of circle back to that. But I think there's something here where you've maybe neglected yourself, or you haven't allowed yourself the nurturance that you've needed, or the people around you that, you know, that whole line at the start about that, like, you know, that song, you need to stop playing around with all the clowns and the wanksters. There's something here where it's like, I think you might genuinely not know how good you are, but also there's something here where it like might be really hard for you to acknowledge that, because if you had to acknowledge how good you were, you'd have to acknowledge how poorly people have treated you. And I don't know if that's because you've allowed them to, or if you've just kind of been subjected to them, to that. But like, you know, to a degree, especially when we're older, there's always like an element of what we allow, but like there's more. It's like there could be a real fear around intimacy, of intimacy here. And I don't just mean like physical intimacy. I mean like sitting down and having a conversation with a person that could be quite deep, or maybe it is physical. I don't know. I don't just take what resonates there, but I do feel like a lot of it could have to do with feelings and the heart. So like maybe some of you have like, I don't know, it's something that we do get come through pretty often, is like being afraid to be like vulnerable. Could be something as well. But there's, yeah. Also yarrow could be, yarrow could be a good one. If you feel called to like work with that, or if you like plants, you want to go buy a yarrow and put that in your yard. I feel like your spiritual team and your energetic body would thank you for that. So what else do we have? Anything else here for how group 1 can enter beast mode? No. I do feel called to actually mention, because we do have the chariot here, so I want to call out the zodiac. So I had Cancer, I had Capricorn with the devil. I was also getting, what was the other, there was like one more. I don't know, if I can remember what the other one was, then I will. But also it was making me think of like the Pushya Nikshatra. So that might be one that you want to look into. But it was like, because Cancer's not ruled by Venus. And Venus is typically like the planet that would be aligned with like beauty, and I guess it is the things that we place value on, but it is the things in the world that are beautiful as well. But at the same time, if you listen to like Claire Nocte talk about Pushya, there is something there about like being very attractive in the feminine essence. And I'm not saying that like, you know, the opposite gender is not, I've just not actually looked into it for the opposite gender. So there could still be something there in terms of like an attractiveness or like a nurturing quality as well. Yeah, but I will leave that. I feel like there's double confirmation with the moon as well. So, Shravana, that was Shravana. That was the other nakshatra that I was having come up, that which is Capricorn. But it could also be like a moon in Capricorn placement. So this could be to do with your, like any of those zodiacs or planets. So like moon, Venus, yeah, Capricorn, Cancer, Shravana, and Pushya. That's actually all that I feel called out. We could say like Ashleisha as well, but it was mainly the others that I feel called to kind of mention there. And that's really everything that I have for you today, Group 1. So how can you enter beast mode? We'll do a quick recap. Like clean eating, vitamins, energy cleanse with the Smokey Quartz. It was very much like a make sure you go and get it if you don't have it, okay? But also, again, like I said, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get like a small one. And if you know a person, like if you've got a friend of a friend who has crystals and they just like kind of sit there and they have a Smokey Quartz, don't be afraid to ask if you can borrow it for a couple of days or something. Anyway, however it is that you live your life and you navigate, that's up to you. But yeah, like eating good foods, stop worrying about the pursuit of romantic interest. If you have like any healthcare that you know you need to follow up on, to make sure that you do that. Yeah, taking a chance on yourself, knowing that you're good. Like, I don't think you know how good you are. But also like back it up too. So if you do take a chance on yourself and you're being a little bit bold, don't be afraid to like really stand in that and like hold a boundary or something. Or like if people kind of question that, like don't be afraid to like push back, or to just actually almost have like no reaction and let them kind of let the cards fall where they may naturally, right? Okay, so yeah, like not forcing anything. All right, that's everything I have for you, Group 1. Make sure you update your social media picture as well, however it is that you do that. Take care. I'll see you in another one. Bye. Okay, welcome in Group 2. If you chose the Hematite, then this will be your reading today on how can you enter beast mode. So definitely a fun, different one for a change. And I just want to start off with the channel messages that I had like written down before the video. So we had something come through about like, this is, I have to say, a lot of stuff that I'm not sure if you've actually already started or if it's something that if you feel called to would be like helpful. Okay, so because I do kind of get the feeling with this group that some of you could already be doing quite a lot of stuff, so it could be like a refresher or a reminder or like a confirmation on that was like you know, something that you lent into, and spirit saying, yeah, that's fantastic. But yeah, anyway, so just take from it what you will. So it had like grounded chanting and mantras or mantras. And there was also the message of like, I know who I am, and it's like having that sense of self. So it's like it was being like very firm in the sense of self. It was like standing up straight, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was also like sense of self that's liberated. There was a message here, so just take what resonates and obviously use your discernment. And at the end of the day, do what you want, do what's good for you. But like I think we all know like healthy like vegetables are good for us, okay? So unless there's like a particular dietary issue with that one, then obviously steer clear from it and, you know, make your decisions there. But we had eating spinach or collard greens, so even kale could be a good one. We did have kimchi come through, or sauerkraut and kombucha, so it was basically like an uptake in chlorophyll and good bacteria. So like seeding the gut. Okay, and we had, oh yeah, back to that, like it's the energy of like 2 feet flat firm on the ground and like standing up straight, like in your energy, grounded, knowing who you are, trusting that. And it felt very comfortable and it felt very natural as well. But yeah, it was like, so there was like the mention, the way that they said it was like a rock hard spine. So you know how there's like the reference to people being spineless just makes me think of them just being a flop, like a person who could easily be pushed over or swayed or something like that. It's like you have a solid spine, like people couldn't push you around kind of thing. We also had the hands of hand and evil eye, because there was definitely some sort of evil eye or negative energy coming through. I was getting specifically a reference for like a sister or an old close friend. So maybe a person that you're not so close with or you're not friends with anymore. But again, take what resonates. And I feel like that would only be for those of you that already know that's exactly what that's about. And there is like on that sort of scale, on that end of the scale of things, there is like a quick reference here for like there could be some sort of almost like, I don't know if it's like a psychic attack or just like that evil eye energy. It's like I see it like permeating your aura. So definitely a call there to, yeah, it's like that go back to the basics, like ground clear, protect, kind of maybe like do a meditation where you're cleaning up your aura, or just making sure it's like intact or something like that. Whatever, just do the visualization, like literally, I don't know, if you already have a strong intuition, you can lead the way there. But if that's not something that you're accustomed to, but you are also open to and it is confirmation for you, you can literally close your eyes and just visualize what that would look like and let it come to you naturally, and just sort of go with it. It might be 5 minutes, might be longer, I don't know. And I feel like that would be part of the process. Sage, like a good smudge, smoke clearing, something like that could be helpful as well. Any of the things like selenite, like sound healing bowls, like singing bowls, that's what I was trying to say. Is there anything else there? You could do salt water bath. I feel like there's so many things, and it would be so easy to look up if that's not something that you used to. I feel like I touched on them in a lot of readings, and I feel like most of you probably know. Also, like rose water could be like a really good one. A frankincense oil could be a good one, but just be careful with that because it can like really open up the crown. So, but like very strongly as well. So, for the, I don't know, although you feel quite grounded, if that is the case, if you don't feel grounded, I maybe wouldn't give the frankincense a go. Be very discretional with that. Use your discernment, you know, make your choice there with that one. But yeah, it's definitely like an energy clearing. And there could also be like a cord cutting thing that needs to happen as well. So, however it is that you go about that, also just could do like the meditation, same thing, close your eyes, visualizing like what that could look like. I feel like cord cuttings are always a bit up in the air with people sometimes, so only do that if that's something you're comfortable with. If that's something that you do choose to do, what I would say is to do it when you know you have a day or two of like quieter time or rest time available to you afterwards. Like if you're doing them all the time, they're usually not that bad. But if you have never done one or you've not done one in a long time, they can kind of really knock you for like a day or two sometimes. Like they can really take it out of you. It's like it can be like an experience where you really need to do like some sort of salt water cleansing, like have an Epsom salts bath or something, or go to the beach and go swimming and be immersed in the salt water or something like that afterwards. Yeah, I don't know. I'm even sort of seeing in my mind, like, you know, there's that, the picture of like, you know, a holy person or a spiritual person or a shaman or I don't know, some sort of, I was almost getting like a witch doctor vibe, like kind of gently, I don't know what the word is for it, where they like kind of gently flick like whatever the, you know, good water might be. I know in like the US they reference like Florida water. I don't even know what that is. Here I would say like just use rose water or something, or literally just like a salt water mix. Okay, with that being said, I feel like we've talked about that enough. But confirmation for those of you that that is a thing, and I don't normally do it because it's the point's not to bypass things, but I feel like there are some people that when they get to that stage, they're going to go like, oh, that's definitely not for me. So I'm going to timestamp from this moment, and they can kind of catch back up with us. So what are we, 31? Okay, cool. Timestamp. Group 2. All right. So now that that's done, there is definitely like a new beginning on the horizon here as well. And it just looks like when you step into this new beginning, it's going to be hard to kind of see outside like previous experiences. So it could be like, there definitely could be like a getting in our head. There definitely could be a level of, I don't know. I don't think it's projection. I just think it could be like being kind of anxious to step out, like to do anything different. Like it might feel unsafe, or there could almost be it's a carrying the past with us. So it could be like causing like a mental anguish or something. But there also could be something here where like the universe is asking you to trust and that like you're in the universe's hands. And I also feel like that could kind of be scary or intimidating for some of you to hear that. But there's an element here to just trust. It's like, take my hand and just trust that it's all going to work out, and just trust. There's also something here for some of you. I feel like if you're recovering from something, they're like asking you to trust that there is like more recovery to come. And I don't know what that looks like because I assume that's going to be different for everyone, right? Like varying levels. So I'm not here saying that something's going to be 100% reversed. It's just that it still could get better, okay? But I don't know, like, what else is here? It could be something here where it just like makes you trip a little bit. So there could be like a little bit of like a mental kind of tripping on something. Like we're not really seeing things clearly or at all actually. But it's like, so we've got this new beginning. It actually looks really positive. It's like we can't really see what's right in front of us, or we can't really see things for what they are, but it's something to do with this like bringing the past to the future. And there's like, it's not going to stay like this. I feel like this is like kind of, it's like it might not last very long. So I feel like it would just naturally kind of, you would catch it, or you'd naturally work through it, or naturally become aware of it, or whatever that is. Where I was getting something about like you co-creating with the universe. So, and we have like the 3 of Pentacles here. I actually get this as like a teamwork, kind of working together, meeting other people, or like it's not as superficial as networking, but you could actually come into a group of like new people in some type of community or something, because it's like not coming through as cups, but just because they're not cups doesn't mean that it's not like people, if that makes sense, right? Where there could be like shared interest or something, like a common goal. I feel like that's what it would be, like a common goal. Anyway, but then I was also wondering too, if like some of you, this could look like, it could look like a new friendship, but it could look like a new relationship. But it's like, I wonder if you have a new relationship, if it's like a conjoined family or something, because it kind of seems like 2 people plus a child. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's it doesn't matter. Okay. But also that co-creating with the universe. So there could be something here where it's like maybe there is no one person. I kind of hesitate to say that because I really feel like there's just, you're going to meet new people. So maybe at the very least you meet new people, okay? But it's like you're going to be able to free yourself of whatever that like mental prison is. And when that happens, it's like you're going to be able to, it's like, I don't know if it's manifesting, like maybe you don't even mean to, or maybe it's like you take the blindfold off and the universe sort of meets you where you're at and is like, all right, let's go, we're gonna like work together here, or something like that. But it also could be people coming in, and maybe these people, even if you meet these new people and there's like this shared goal or common goal or something, so there might not be really like in a community setting where it's like I guess like a connection circle or anything. This could be actually like a community services setting as well. So it's hard to say what that would look like because it's going to be different for everybody. It could literally be meeting new co-workers or something. And there could be something where like you meet these new co-workers and they kind of help unlock or unblock that like old thing from the past. And I actually feel like it feels quite subtle, gentle, or neutral in nature, which is weird because I don't really get pentacles come through in like a neutral nature, but it seems just very grounded. Like, yeah, I don't want to keep talking about it. Okay, so what else? We want more cards. But I don't know, you guys could be just like really upset or going through it right now. Or you could be like scared of something or really anxious or stressed out or really nervous. You guys could be fretting a new beginning, and that in itself is keeping you in your head, and it's kind of freezing up this like ability to meet new people or to like be in a flow state. So there's also that being like a very strong, like a high chance that that's actually what's happening here as well. And there is something here where it's like, if you can find a way to make yourself feel more protected or something that will allow you to open that up, then that would obviously be helpful as well. And that actually makes heaps of sense with how we had that whole hands a hand thing and the evil eye come through, because like the pentagram to me is also quite protective as well. So maybe the pentagram is something that you could be drawn to that could be helpful in that protective sense. Anything else that we have? Tempers. Okay, I feel like we need more cards. I'm going to take an archetype card. How can you enter beast mode? It's like just getting some sort of mental clarity, hey. How can we enter beast mode? The bridge. I think it's really just that like reaffirming to like know who you are, but also I think this bridge is like, I think it's the universe. I think it's like a bridge is going to come in. I don't know. I'm not saying like don't do this other stuff, because it's obviously every bit important if you actually want to be able to like enter beast mode to be able to do it. Like, you know, if something's within your grasp or your control, and it's like as simple as like starting to eat like, you know, green collared foods. I know that they're not everyone's favorite, but if they agree with your body and they're really good for you and it would make the world a bit different, and it's like that's something that, you know, what, like why wouldn't we do it? But I actually think there are elements here to the rest of the situation that like, is it a new person or a new group? I think it's at least one new person, and this person could actually be this like what it looks like when the universe is like putting out a helping hand. Yeah, there's a new person here. There's someone that's going to help, or they're going to be, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to say it's like a new friendship or anything, but maybe this person's just going to be like a safe person. So, you know, sometimes people are not like super emotionally deep, but they're just very like grounded. They're very practical. They're very like responsible. And they just kind of do the things that they need to, and they make sure like everyone's fed, and they make sure everyone's like kind of taken care of. And they don't necessarily have to be like a mothering energy, but they could also just be kind. Yeah. I don't know. This is nice, but this is actually good. I think, like, at least if anything, I can say things are going to get better, okay? Because it's like there's the Nine of Swords there, which is apparently the current, like, you know, state that you would be in. It's like that, what I was touching on, of like being stressed or anxious, or like you potentially could be as bad as like not sleeping. You could be actually like really hardcore going through it, stressing out or worrying about something that could or could not be happening, or it's like a fear or something. But you know, there is a lot of positive things happening here, and there's like one less sword. So it's like maybe some of this like actually calms down, and it actually gets a lot better. So yeah, I do feel like clearing your energy would be very helpful for, I don't know, it's not even that energy clearing, it's like the ham's a hand and the evil eye. But I mean, take what resonates, because any of the things I said earlier could be helpful for you. There's something here too where I feel like when you clear out the energy of like old relationships and old people and stuff, you know, old baggage, it's gonna like, and it's never gonna be perfect, right? Like, I'm probably never really gonna get it all, and you can only do like one thing at a time. And sometimes if you do too much, can kind of be exhausting. So it's like, treat your nervous system with care. But I think when you find a way to clear it out, there's going to be like, these relationships will be like almost life-giving in a way, where it's like there's going to be like a bit more of a spark or something as well. Like, I feel like they might just genuinely be more enjoyable. Yeah, okay. I'll take another card. Okay, so we also have potential with confined and infinite. This is literally like your potential is just riding on this. But I also, it is the potential there for things to get a whole lot better. I think the universe is really going to help you, but you do really need to do what you can to help yourself, I guess. So like anything, right? But is there anything else here that we need for group 2? No. They're just sort of making note of like that sort of evil eye hamster stuff. So like, obviously it's good to be able to, you know, do whatever sort of like energy clearing stuff that we can. And, you know, sometimes it's helpful to have those types of amulets or symbology reflected in our environment. But also, they don't want you to like freak out more, or like let it kind of weigh you down or make you anxious or kind of feed into any fear. It's very much like, you know, do what you can, and then just let it be, let it go, let it do its thing, and move forward as well. Yeah. And then I think there's something here where you will see, I think a lot of this is pretty quick, to be honest. There could be something about like the month or the next 3 months or something where this is like kind of playing out. Something about like a whole moon cycle. So yeah. No, all right. Well, that's everything that I have for you today, group 2. Hopefully this is helpful in some way, and I'll see you in another one. Take care. Bye. Okay, welcome in group 3. If you chose the Labradorite crystal, then this will be your group reading today on how can you enter beast mode. So welcome in. It's been a minute. And I guess like I've got some channeled messages that I wrote down before starting today's reading. So the first thing that I had come through was like Pisces energy with Neptune. And there was a message about like a sense of self being up in the air or adrift. needing some type of anchoring, potentially exercise. And they were specifically referencing like maybe kickboxing. But there was also like a song that came through, Vitamins by Queen Herby, who's like, I feel like that's a pretty, it's, I don't know, like it's a good song. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it'll make you feel strong in yourself, right? Like, don't doubt yourself. It's like having confidence and like doing, it's like prioritizing yourself and doing what you need to do and doing it well, like literally being in beast mode. But there's also a message that I was getting the song by Aaliyah, Try Again. So it did definitely start going into like, it's that like pick yourself up and try again. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics, but it's like, they could have been a recent breakup, separation, some sort of potentially like no contact situation, or just like, even if it's not really that stuff, just like relationship struggles, I guess. But I did get a specific message about like someone showing their true colors, and you could have felt very blindsided by whatever that was. And there was like a strong message here. So this will be like, hopefully help you like qualify this group, whether it's actually for you or not in some way, is that this person, unless it is your own energy coming through, in which case I would say like, oh, you could just continue listening on. But it's like, this person could have taken to the tarot or some type of like divination, or even I was getting like psychic downloads. So if you know that this person's kind of into all that, then that would be like strong confirmation. But like, I don't use the word downloads. I know a lot of other people do. It seems to be kind of like a trendy word, or like not a trendy word. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, but it's like a very common way that people would describe getting like a intuitive message come through or something like that. Anyway, and so yeah, yeah, I feel like you would know. Okay, anyway, so if this person doesn't do this, oh yeah, we already talked about that. Okay. Yeah, no, if this person doesn't do this and it's not your energy, then it's either like not your person or it's not the person that you had in mind. And with that being said, we also had something here is like, I feel like this like, I don't know if it's something or someone, it feels like maybe the person that this is like you're involved with has kind of been like mind bending or like warping. And so that was when I had that Neptune energy come through. And it's kind of where we like blur the lines between like reality and, you know, higher states of consciousness, potentially like spirituality and the universe and all of that. But like, it's like almost sometimes the way I want to explain Neptune, even though it's watery, sometimes it almost comes through like gassy to me. And the only way I can explain that is like, you know, part of the, I don't know, is it enthalpy, the evaporation process? I don't know what it's called. I have a terrible memory. Like, it's been way too long since I've looked at any of this stuff. But it's like, you know how water changes into different states. So it can be like ice when it's frozen. It can be water when it's like room temp, or whatever the varying frame of degrees it is between being hot and cold. And when it's hot, then it will, I guess, essentially boil off into a vapor. And so I'm not trying to like bring the temperature in here. It's just that example of how water changes its like form. And so I'm kind of getting it as like a cool mist or a cold mist, where it's like, like you can't grab it. It's not really there, but it is there, but it's not there. It's like you can feel maybe that your skin is like a little bit wet, but it's like hard to grasp how maybe you got wet just from like a mist or something. Anyway, it's just an example of how to kind of explain that in a very abstract way. So take what resonates and we'll move on. Okay. And so like, it also could be a person not really grappling, like they could be grappling with a concept, or it's like they're really struggling with some type of, to actually conceptualize something could be like so big and they don't know how to ground it or something like that as well. Okay, anyway, moving on. So we also had reference to possible like a question mark of potentially like BPD, something that comes through in the readings. Obviously don't take it if it doesn't resonate for you. we can't pretend to know what people do and don't have when we just don't know. So it would be a tick of confirmation if you did, but it also might not necessarily be BPD because there is that question mark. So it could just be like you're questioning this person's like mental health in general or something. So yeah. And then there could be themes, we already touched on spirituality, but there could be like strong themes on like morality or like a spiritual, moral, or religious crisis in some sense. So this person, like something could have really like, yeah, it was like mind bending, but it's like blowing their mind. Like maybe something happened here. Maybe they were kind of steady in whatever it was that they thought or believed in, and something's kind of like shaken that up where it's like now they're having this crisis. And so it could also touch on themes of like ninth house dilemmas and Sagittarius as well. All right, so now we've got that part out of the way, we can look at the cards. And like the first card that we have is the Two of Swords. So just for reference, for those of you following along on screen watching, we're actually going to do like the top row first and then move down to the bottom row. So for the first card, we have Two of Swords. It's literally like not knowing, I was going to say what way to go, but it actually feels like not knowing what's real, like what's reality, and but like two ideas bumping up against each other that don't make sense, or they kind of cancel each other out, or like how do they come together, or like really struggling with that to conceptualize it or to like come out with a clear understanding. And while we have the King of Swords next, so there could be a kind of leveling up through this with the ability to come out more experienced and see clearly. But I actually feel like it's asking you or this person, so take what resonates because you could be on either side of this, to actually step into an energy where like maybe you have to climb higher. Maybe there is something here where like you actually need to be in a more elevated position to actually see more clearly. And I just, I don't know, I feel like I don't even like saying that with a reading that started the way that it did, because it's like, I don't want to, like the very last thing that I ever want to do is like encourage a person into further delusion if there is that quality to it. But what I would actually say is that this is more specifically about taking action, like executing an action. So it's like, if we want to bring this back down to earth, because I don't know how some of this could be like in regards to this relationship. So maybe if we're touching on these points of like spirituality and, you know, moral compass and like a potential religious crisis, any one of those things or themes, like even philosophical views, even if you're like not really into that other stuff and you just like are a very philosophical person and you like to, you know, have those big conceptual chats with friends and stuff, and like maybe you thought you knew a person based off like some of the conversations that you'd had, or like, you know, this feels deep and intricate though, and it feels like it's been happening for a while. So I don't feel like it's like a one-off conversation. I don't feel like it's a person you've only had 3 conversations with. Take what resonates. I feel like there's these back and forth thoughts where some of this stuff could be tied into the relationship. So you both could be very spiritual, religious people, or you could have that high moral compass, or you could actually, I don't know, like even literally like getting philosophy major, which is wild because I don't know anyone that's a philosophy major, but, you know, just channeling the things that come through. So yeah, like you could be really in your head about the situation, and it's like you know what you need to do, but you're like not taking action. You're like choosing to stay stuck. And so it's like if you actually could take the action, it will clear everything up for you. And I think you would realize when you take the action and things get really clear, I think you would realize that you kind of already have like the elevated perspective. Like there's something here where it's like you already see more than they do. And I know it might have been really hard for you to go back and forth and like, you know, or what's real, what's not. So it could have been qualities to this person where if it's not really touching on the spiritual stuff, maybe there's something about this person that was mystifying or a little bit gaslighty, okay? I'm just going to throw it out there. Especially when I had that reference to the gas, okay? That was, yeah, confirmation. All right, so, and it's really, this is like part of like developing our discernment, right? And it can be hard and it can be like taunting and it can just be so many things. but ultimately you're going to be so much better off for this, okay? And there's something here where it's like, I feel like, number one, you're being called to prioritize, like, to actually take action, but to prioritize your family and what's good for your family. So it's like, you know, if you need to be working and you actually have the, you know, the function and the ability to be able to do that, then you need to do that. Where there could be something here where it's like, this is where you two kind of peel off into different directions here, because it's like, you will or are willing to, and this person may not be, or you could be like a very grounded, earthy person, and this person is like living in almost like a spiritual delusion. I'm not sure. And I don't really like saying stuff like that, right? Like, I was a Reiki practitioner for a while. Like, I obviously do tarot and stuff. And there are times and stages in life where it's super conducive to do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. And there's like, I don't even want to get into the nitty gritty of it, because I feel like we're going to be opening up a can of worms of a whole conversation that doesn't need to be had, that's not relevant to the reading, because you don't need to justify what you do to anybody else. So if you like, oh, this person in some type of like healing, health and wellness aspect, like it could be as far as maybe, I don't know, maybe like this person just, maybe there's like an aspect of not making enough money. It could be that simple. I don't know what this split is. But like stability and security and stuff, or health. Health could be a big thing here. There could be something here where this person doesn't choose health, because Sagittarius to me, in this deck, I'll see if I can find the card. It can be the epitome symbolization of when you are not integrated, and you can be kind of so high, like, I don't want to say head in the clouds, because it's not really how I think of Sagittarius, but for the lack of a better explanation, it's kind of like when you can be on such a spiritual path that you can kind of like neglect your physical body. So there could be something here where it's maybe not, it could be that, exactly that, but it could also just be like prioritizing other things over the real world. There could be an element here of like, especially when we talk about like Neptune and stuff, could be like, I want to say escapism, but I don't think that's, I don't know. You guys know your situation, right? So take it as confirmation or just leave it. All right, so back to it. And this, I feel like what I'm doing here, I'm like, what about this and what about that? That could be another thing. So even if it's not like specifically back and forth between two things and I'm getting really fast and stuff, when I'm talking and thinking, there could just be like a lot. Like it could be like a little whirlwind going on in your mind or something. Anyway, and so they're like, yeah, you might just have to make a choice to like break away. Oh no, it's not breaking away. Like there's no severing here, but it's like taking an action or executing a plan or something. And then it's like, it will give you clarity. If you're wondering whether you should do something or not, I would say that this is like confirmation of a yes. Or at least be firm. If you don't want to, like, whatever the thing is, at least be firm on what you do. So like maybe you're asking like, do I separate from this person or not? It's like, stand your ground and put your family and your health and your well-being and your security first, or something like that. I don't know. But it's also like, when we look at the bottom row, maybe this is that, like, part of the concept is like, well, I'm going to show you. I feel like I have a headache, right? I didn't have a headache before I did this reading. So group 3, this could be like a real headache, right? You could also have multiple people talking to you about what to do. Like you could be getting advice from different people, or you could have like, you could be watching multiple readings, and that could be confusing as well, I need to say. So what do we have? You see, there's like family and friends, and like the people that get to enjoy this the way they do, it's because all their needs are met, okay? I don't know how else to say it so clearly. And this is like, people have jobs and like bills are paid. I don't know why a bill's not paid right now, and that's why you're like having to think about it and it's stressing you out, and you need to make some sort of call or take an action. Just take an action. It's like, kind of own that decision. I don't know. I feel weird talking to you like this, but anyway. Okay, so we also have the Queen of Cups. And it's, I don't know, like, I think if you had these other things, it would free you up emotionally to really focus on like your 10 of cups and the things that are fulfilling, but it's like needs need to be met first so that it can allow you to be in your feminine, so that you can kind of do this. Like, I feel like there's no point wanting to sit down and enjoy ourselves in our community or our family or friends or whatever if we're all hungry. Like, how is that going to be enjoyable? Like, if we all have headaches and we're all stressing about this stuff that we like can't stop thinking about, because if we don't do it, it's not going to happen. I feel like you're being asked to make a decision, like a very firm decision, and back it up and stand in your power. And I have to say, like, I know we have Queen of Cups here and I know we have 10 of Cups here. We're not looking at emotions when we make this decision. This is all swords. This is all mental. So it's like, I don't know if you've already processed through some of the emotions, or if that's like what will come. There'll be like a release or a purging or a letting go of things, because we literally have the 8 of Cups here at the end, which is like choosing to walk away, okay? It's like walking away from a long-term emotional investment. And I mean, you could have poured a lot. This could have been like a very high priority. You could have thought that was going to be the 10 of Cups, and it's like, it's just not 10 of cupping. Like, it's not, I don't know. I just feel, I'm just going to say it, right? Like, I feel like this was a big mistake, and I don't know, maybe that's how you feel, or maybe that's what you're scared of, is that you're going to make a big mistake. I'm not sure. It's very stressful. I feel like you could be giving yourself a headache from not taking action, though. I have to say, I feel like it's going to, the longer it takes you to take action on this situation, I feel like I don't know, like the more headaches you're going to endure in that time. So, like, the headache's not going to go away until whatever the antidote is that we need, that we are met with, right? Like, whether you need to drink more water or have a good night's sleep, or maybe you need to take like a Panadol, paracetamol, whatever it is, ibuprofen, whatever that looks like, right? Like, it's like you're not going to, like, maybe it's not even any of those things. Like, you know, sometimes people get migraines and they need to go lay down in like a dark room or something or like they do the eye mask or the pressure or something on like a little bit of a towel or something on the face, a wet towel, like a cold towel or something. I don't know. It's like you are going to be exhausted with a sore head the longer that it takes you to make a decision. I feel really weird about doing this reading because it's like so much conviction, but it's like, how can you enter beast mode? I feel like you're dragging dead weight. And I don't want to say that because I don't know what your situation is. Like, obviously, I guess I feel like if I'm going to throw out any disclaimer, it's going to be, take these readings with a grain of salt, because this is like a general reading on a public platform, okay? It's not a personal reading. I feel like unless this was something that you were already tormented by and you were already having a really hard time trying to decide, then I wouldn't give it too much weight. I would maybe maybe you still do the mental exercise on, you know, I'm almost getting like a shoe, if the shoe fits, like, wear it kind of energy. So like, it's like head in hands. I don't want to deal with this. My head hurts. Like, maybe you have too much going on, so it's like hard for you to actually see clearly to make a decision to take action. So maybe it's not even any of the things we talked about, although it feels like strongly a combination of all of them. But like, the more I talk about it, the more my head hurts. So like, even if maybe the more other people talk to you about it or weigh in, or the more that you ask people, I don't know, my head hurts. And if you're on the flip side of this, maybe it's like the more you talk to this person about it, it's like I don't know. I just feel like maybe you just were really attached. I don't know. Like, it looks like all the things, right? Like, we had the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, which to me, when we have them together, like, that's kind of everything, right? It's, I just I wonder if there's something here where like that's where you thought that's what it was and it's changed, or maybe, you know, those base needs aren't being met, so then it's like hard to get your cups, like it's hard to get the sort of the nicer stuff. I don't know. I'm just gonna take a second to ground. I don't know, what do we want to do? I feel like I need to clear this energy, but Power Center or Sage. Do you know, I've got to say, not that I can see it in the cards, but feeling that headache, it feels exhausting. Some of you just maybe you need to drink more water as well. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to make a decision because you just like always have a headache. Maybe it's that simple. So maybe it's like you need to go drink some water so that you can feel better. I don't know. Okay. This is really weird, and it literally might be for one person or for kids or something. If you've got kids around, like, you know, Cheerios, like in Australia, what are they, like Frankfurters, or like mini, like little boys sometimes they call, why don't they call it that? That's just, I don't know. Anyway, this person, there's something about it that could be like, just something about this person could be rubbing you up the wrong way. I don't know. Or this situation. Even if it's not specifically them, it's like maybe something they're doing or something that they're not doing. I feel like I actually want to pull clarifying cards. I do really kind of like want to end this, and I don't know where to go with it. Like, I feel like you're being led. So even if you don't release this, maybe you take some sort of action, and maybe the action is to kind of hold on to it, or I don't know what it is that you do. You do something that maybe it's for the family or for your health and security, for everyone to benefit from. And then it's like maybe when you do that thing, then it's like you're able to be in a position where you can actually prioritize what your real 10 of cups are, what the real dream and all the things are that you want, and then that helps you make that decision to walk away. So it could be like that simple. And you know, the more I just kind of said that and talked about it, I still have a faint headache, but it's kind of dropped off a little bit. But we're going to take more cards. I feel like we need clarity. Like, all my neck and my back feel kind of tight and stiff, and I feel like I've got a headache. I actually am starting to feel like I've got a migraine. This is terrible. Maybe if it's not you dealing with a headache, this person could be dealing with some sort of crazy headaches that could be like really holding them back or messing with them. And that would just be so unfortunate because it's like so unnecessary. But anyway, look, I feel like even though that could be a factor, that's not for everybody. And it looks like, you know, these cards come after, right? So it's like walking away, a new beginning that I think would actually be kind of fun and adventurous, or freeing, the very least freeing. Because I get not every new beginning is always fun, although I think there's potential for that. I do feel like it's a massive letting go energy, and it's very freeing. It's like, do you know what this feels like? It feels like freedom to breathe and freedom to just be you, and freedom to not carry the weight. Like, maybe it's freedom from responsibility. So for some of you, maybe you don't want that responsibility if you're on the other end. And so this is like walking away. It's like freeing up, like it's giving you freedom again. I don't know what this is. And I think when you're able to do that, then you're going to have a lot more success in like whatever endeavors it is that you have. Okay. I'm going to take more cards, see what else we get coming out. I don't know. This is making me think of like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like issues like chiropractors and like osteos, and I don't know about physios, but like osteos and chiropractors maybe. I don't know. Okay, so we've got marrying for money. Yeah, see, maybe you're with this person for like superficial reasons or something, or maybe they give you a sense of security, so then it's like hard to want to leave that. But like maybe in being in that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, if it's not you, it could be this person. Like they could be like a dead weight because they're kind of just really comfortable, not really contributing. But we also have cyberbully with you are being bullied online, or they are, or have suffered from it. So I know that one is kind of throwing me for a loop. But if it's not like, it might not be the online thing. It literally could just be normal bullying. So I guess either one of these things could be right or real, right? Like there could be a relationship that's in kinetic movement is the way that I'm feeling called to have it. Like that's what's coming through. Like it's still happening, still in movement, and it's still got energy in it, but it's like not for the right reasons or something, or it's like you thought it was the right reasons, but when you look at it, it's like, well, it's actually not doing the things it was like you thought it would do. Anyway, and then maybe like, I don't know if this person has been bullied a lot, or if they've like bullied you, or even if you have somehow found yourself bullying them because they're like not doing what you want them to, or you don't have aligned or shared goals. Something here, I don't know what that looks like because it's going to be different for everyone. I do get like a lot of flipped cross-watching kind of energy come through. So you literally could be on any side of this. Okay, more cards. One more. I'm going to take an archetype card. Wow, that was hectic. Oh my god, why is it happening again? I'm going to do it one more time. If it happens again, I'm just going to take it. But it was a lot of cards, right? It was not just like one. So we have the healer and we have the father. Like there definitely could be like father wounding here, but in saying that, with the healer, we did talk about some of that stuff, like the spirituality, and I don't know, we touched on like Reiki and reading cards, and yeah. What are we doing? I think there's like, maybe some of you are being stuck in like a healer energy and you're being taken advantage of because of it. Maybe there's something here where it's like people are looking for their next meal and they kind of see you as like a soft, easy target. If it's not that, there could be something here where it's like the way in which you heal people, it's not necessarily like honey, right? Like sometimes the most healing thing that you can do is just kind of being real and not like enabling people either. Like, you know, it can be hard to do healing work. Like you have to be firm at times. Like you can't just kind of sugarcoat everything, and you can't just agree to everything, and you can't just tell people that every single little thing that they're doing is perfect, because they'll never actually see any real growth or healing, right? There could be also something here where it's like maybe going through this whole process would actually be very healing for you. Do you know, it's wild because the more I'm talking, that headache's coming back, but it's in like a different part of my head. So now it's more around, like I was going to say like the third eye, but I was getting frontal lobe. So like the forehead, kind of around the eyebrows, furrow. Something about furrowed brows as well. So this person could furrow their brow a lot. They could be like, it could be very frustrating, or they could be like hard to concentrate or something here as well. But it's like, this could be blocking the third eye. We also could have all the lower chakras in. I actually don't even know. I feel like there just could be so much stuff out of alignment here. It would be even hard to tell. But it's also like, I don't know, it's weird because we do have the feminine and the masculine, and they look like they're in balance. And we have the healer card here with the snake. So we like literally have the, is it caduceus? It's like the blending of feminine and masculine energies arise. And to me, it makes me think of like a kundalini rising energy as well. So it's like here where it's like, this could really be like a very, very healing experience and a very expansive experience, especially when we're touching on Pisces and Sagittarius, which is like both Jupiter ruled signs, right? Like I understand that Pisces is like Neptune ruled in, I think it's Western or tropical, but I'm pretty sure it can be Jupiter ruled in Vedic. Anyway, I know Sagittarius is at least anyway. But it's like expansion, it's growth. It's like, this is going to grow whether you want it to or not. Do you know what happens when an egg comes or a baby comes? like if a woman is pregnant, like I understand there's all, you know, seasons where things don't really come full cycle, okay? But they're not the times that we're talking about right now. We're talking about when things go well and things go from start to finish. Like the baby's coming whether we like it or not, or like the bird's going to hatch out of the egg whether you like it or not. Do you know what I mean? Like you can, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's such a weird analogy because I feel like that could be triggering for people as well, and that's not what I want to do intentionally. Like I understand messages come through that are triggering and I try to put warnings on them when that happens, but they're also like part of the message, I guess. I just think something about this experience is not going to taste nice. It's like not meant to. I'm actually seeing like the nectar card. I'll see if I can find it. It's not going to be like sweet and sugary, and it's not going to be everything that you might, I don't know, like I don't know if there's an easy way out. I don't know if there's a nicer way out. I don't know if there's a sweeter way out. Some of you may not want to let a person down, so it's like you feel like you'd be going against your nature, but you're actually being called to step into more of a stronger action taking, task focused, masculine doing energy. Like you're being asked to do the thing. You're being asked to be decisive and take action. Do you know, I was hearing, I can't remember what it was, who it was that was talking, because I've been just listening to too many different things, but like something about like a masculine energy. It's like being like a good leader. Like, no, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was like, what would make a good masculine partner is a person who can make a decision, and, or it's like maybe that they're the people that a lot of people are attracted to. It could be that too, because it's like a confidence thing, right? When a person can just like make a decision and just take action and just fully have their own back, and they just, you know, they'll work out the next step when they get there. Like that's, I don't know. The more I talk about it, the more it gives me a headache. So I feel like maybe the more that we talk about it in this reading, the more it could give you a headache. Oh, sorry. I feel like, I don't know if this is like a well-received reading or not, because I feel like some of you, it's like very validating. It's like very, here, the nectar card. You might think it's, I don't know. It's just, it's like not going to be all the sweet things. I think the thing is, the nectar to me feels like enabling a person. Feels like enabling some type of like toxic, or I don't know, maybe it's not toxic. Maybe I'm going to, what do we want here? I don't know. The nectar can mean a lot of things, and I'm not going to change. I'm not going to take us in too many different directions, because I feel like it's just going to be a lost cause. So yeah, I think you're being called to, I'm getting the word affirmative. Take affirmative action into helping yourself or your family, or your security or stability or responsibilities, or it could be money making, could be health. It really could be health. If your health is suffering, and it's like, if you need to make a decision to like look after your health so you can do all the things, so you can have like that nice life, or so you can have the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, right? So there's so many different things that here that this could be, and there's so many different elements that could really all tie together, guys. Hopefully this is a helpful one for you and serves you. I definitely feel like it would. I'm gonna write down the trigger warning for group 3. Baby reference. Okay. So I'm really keen to get out of this headache energy. So let's see, is there anything here for group 3? The only other thing that I can think of to say is that Labradorite could also be a very protective crystal as well. So that might be a little mental jog or something that you may wish to work with. But otherwise, everybody, take care of yourselves. I'll see you in another one. If this resonated and you're not subscribed, please do. And otherwise, you can like, comment, all the good stuff. Take care.